Welcome back, everyone, to the late night review. And please, by the way, like and subscribe so you can see a new video when it comes out and be notified when it comes out. Hit the thumbs up button, share this video, hype it up and pump it up so more people can see this type of content. And I really appreciate that if you do that. And I am really happy to talk about it's a movie that I've always liked, and it's always been one of my favorite movies. And it's starring Patrick Swayze. I'm talking about the classic Roadhouse. This movie it's always been one of my favorite movies. Got a lot of nostalgia for it. Seen it years and years ago, when it first came out. And I've always liked Patrick Swayze. He was taken from us way too early. God rest his soul. I really enjoyed him in Roadhouse. Before that, I seen him in The Outsiders. I watched The Outsiders over and over again when I was a kid with him. And there's so many actors in there who became big later. Tom Cruise, Rob Lowe, Emilio Estevez. There's so many in there. Like I said, Patrick Swayze. And then Red Dawn was always one of my favorites. I like Next of Kin with him and Liam Neeson. Steel Dawn, I even like that. I don't really think it holds up much today, Steel Dawn, but I always like that too. But Patrick Swayze, I think my favorite movie of his is this one, Roadhouse. It's such a classic. He's a bouncer, has to fight a lot of different guys. He only fights though if it's absolutely necessary, and the people he trains, he tells them that is to try to de-escalate things, take things outside if they have to, make sure nothing starts inside the bar unless it's absolutely necessary. How he trains them, he says, I'm the cooler, you're the bouncers. You're the bouncers, I'm the cooler. He trains them. But this is a good movie. It's got plenty of action, good fight scenes. I think at the time it was one of the more realistic movies, and I think it still holds up today. And there's no shaky cam. The camera's not really close, so you can't see anything. They don't cut away so quick where you can't see the moves. It's like a classic action movie where when you look at the Bruce Lee movies and the early Chuck Norris movies where the camera's back, you can see all the action, you can see him doing things. There's not too many quick cuts where you can't see what they did. There's no shaky cam. And just like with this one too, it's got the cameras positioned well most of the time, if not all the time in this movie. Very well done movie. Good acting for an action movie too. Got Patrick Swayze in here, Sam Elliott. There's good actors in here, and I think it more than holds up. I think it's a great action movie. It's a movie that I always was inspired by watching this. I used to work out watching this, seeing Patrick Swayze work out, punch the bag. He was good in real life. He trained. He was a good fighter, I think, in real life. In fact, the great kickboxing champion, Benny the Jet Urquidez, I believe he helped train Patrick Swayze for this movie. And he actually thought Patrick Swayze had potential to be a kickboxer, so much so that I think he suggested to Patrick Swayze that he should get on like the kickboxing circuit and start a career in kickboxing or something. But yeah, Patrick Swayze, he was never a pro fighter, but I think he would have been good if he dedicated himself. Looked like he had a good chin too, but practice the defense so you don't have to rely on the chin. Get your defense down. But I think he would have been good, and I think he knew how to handle himself in real life. I've seen him train, on behind the scenes footage of this movie and then other movies as well. He knew how to fight. I think he would have been good as a pro fighter if he dedicated himself. But he's been in great movies, and The Dirty Dancing, that was another one I saw when I was younger. But I think Roadhouse was always my favorite of his, and then maybe second or third to that, I like Red Dawn and Next of Kin. There were some other ones. Oh, Point Break. That was a really good movie, Point Break. But in here, Roadhouse, Patrick Swayze's the good guy. He's the main star in here. Sam Elliott, what an actor. He does a really great job. And everyone in here does really good. You got a good action star, good villain, good fight scenes, pretty realistic fight scenes in here, and they're fun. And this movie is a fast-paced movie too. You got good music throughout this film. Got really good music throughout the film. Good casting, good story. Yes, it's a movie about a bouncer, a bar, fights, but the story has a lot of depth to it too. Brad Wesley, the character of Brad Wesley, is the main villain in here, and is a really good villain. And he had a relationship with the lady that Patrick Swayze ends up falling in love with. So there's a dynamic there, kind of a bitterness and revenge type of dynamic where Wesley wants to kill Dalton. You know, Dalton is played by uh, Patrick Swayze. He's the main character, so you got that going on. Dalton has a past, and he is kind of struggling with different things that he did, particularly one thing that he did in the past, and he doesn't want that to really happen again. He doesn't want to have to resort to certain things that he did in the past, and the fight scenes are really, really good. And some of there's a couple parts in here that are disturbing, a couple parts, and one part with Sam Elliott. And this is a spoiler review. Almost all my movie reviews are spoiler reviews because I'm talking about movies that have been out for decades, and this is one of them. This is a movie I got a lot of nostalgia for. I remember putting this on when I was exercising, working out. This movie inspired me to work out, as a lot of the Chuck Norris movies did, and the Bruce Lee movies. This one, I used to watch this one all the time as well. When it came on TV, I recorded it. I think it might have come on, I know it came on one of the pay channels, and I recorded it as well. And I might have had two copies. I know I had a copy that was uncut and didn't bleep out anything. I think that was definitely from one of the pay channels. I got rid of all my VHS videos because I moved a long time ago, number of years ago. I had so many VHS tapes, like a whole library of movies that I recorded and seen, like when they came on the pay channels or on TV. This was one of them. I got rid of it, and just, it's a lot of stuff. I didn't bother to transfer them to DVDs. That would have taken forever. And plus, I'm kind of a minimalist. I don't like to collect a lot of stuff. I'm a minimalist at heart, but this was a classic. This was in my library. Used to watch it all the time. I watched it with my dad and my mom and friends and family. I think I rented it too, and a long time ago, and then later I recorded it when it came on a paid channel, and I think I took it to my grandparents, and I think I showed them too, and they liked it. Sometimes they liked action movies too. I know I used to watch boxing and wrestling with them, and this movie was a staple. Used to put this movie on all the time, and it has good music. It's not just the good fighting, a decent story, but it has good music in it, and it's a classic, typical 80s, but not so typical in the sense that it stood out. I mean, even compared to other 80s movies, this one stands out, and it was better than many of the other 80s movies. Maybe not as good as a couple, but better than many of the 80s movies. Love the Terminator, and it's totally different genre, but I really like 80s movies, probably more than any decade or close to any decade. The 70s was good too, had so many great films. This one always stood out as being one of my very favorite movies of all time. Definitely one of my favorite action movies of all time, and probably one of my favorite movies, definitely one of my favorite movies, period, of any genre of all time. Patrick Swayze did such a good job, and he was in great shape, flexible, practicing, he's a trained dancer, very flexible. He studied martial arts too, and Benny Urquidez, like I said, Benny the Jet Urquidez, one of the greatest kickboxing champions and martial artists ever in history, helped train Patrick Swayze for this role, and he thought Patrick Swayze had potential, and he would have been a good fighter if that's what he was focused on. Yeah, this movie has action, has a love story, has drama, suspense. The dynamics between characters in here are very interesting, how they interact. It has a purpose in here. He's fighting to protect his friends, people he cares about. He's trying to do what's right in this bar, the Double Deuce, and he turns it around. It used to be just a slaughterhouse, it's figuratively, where there's violence all the time, and it was really, really a dangerous place. He turns it around to be a really good, a place you can go and have a good time. But there's action and there's drama in that area and then that bar all the way through the whole movie until the end. There's a happy ending, and then everything is um, pretty peaceful under the circumstances. I don't know if there's any bar that never has a fight, but he turned this really violent place into a really, really a much better place by the end of the movie. Bad guys get what's coming to them, and they're pretty darn bad, and they get what they deserve. So this, all in all, it's a very satisfying, action-packed 80s movie with Patrick Swayze with some really good fight scenes, fast pace. I have a lot of good memories about it. If you haven't seen it, I think you're in for a treat. If you like action movies, if you like fight movies that have a lot of fights in it, I think you'll like it quite a bit. And it's got a good soundtrack too, a lot of good songs that keep the movie exciting. It's exciting anyway, but makes it even more exciting. One of my favorites, and I think you'll enjoy it if you're into these types of movies. This has been a late night review, and thank you very much for watching, and have a good night, everybody.